From cosmosmagazine.com, new species of saber-tooth discovered in China. From prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Let's dive into the animal news of the day. So, reconstruction of two Amphimacarids heshengensis defending their prey, the Hengenzai bohlani, from two Dinocrutia gigantea. So these are distinctive older species of the hyena lineage. And these animals could reach, in some cases, over 400 pounds or a little over 180 kilograms. And in this region, so this is probably taking place during the later Miocene to, well, around the late Miocene epoch to the Pliocene epoch. So this is somewhere around 8 million years ago when this is occurring. You also have a wide variety of different species of rhinos as well as Gomphotherian elephants that have been discovered in this region. A newly identified species of saber-toothed cat, which lived 9 to 10 million years ago, has been found in northern China. Amphimacarids hesgensis becomes the earliest known member of the Amphimacarids genus, which lived in Europe, Asia, and North America. Amphimacarids was the most widely distributed and successful saber-toothed cat genus in the late Miocene period of Earth's history that extends from about 23 million to 5.3 million years ago. No. The the Miocene first started, you could say, somewhere around 20 to 23 million years ago, and then it would have ended somewhere around about 8 to 9 million years ago. 5.3 million years ago, you're already in the far into the Pliocene epoch. So that's off. Now, when it comes to Amphimacarids, we have these are large saber tooths, but they're a bit distantly related to the more famous Smilodon fatalis, or this true saber tooth cat over in North America. But the Smilodon fatalis specifically wouldn't evolve until probably somewhere around 2 million years ago. And then even the Nimravids over in South America, which is what Diego from the movie Ice Age is a bit distantly related to this. It looks more of like something like a Homo therianae um, lineage of cats. The new species is known from deposits dating to the Turloian age of the Miocene epoch. The fossils were found in the Lingxia Basin, located on the northeastern border of the Tibetan Plateau. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you think that this specific saber tooth would have been a much bigger threat to the hyenas in the region compared to the hyenas being a threat to it. Now, in the region, we also have um, one of the earliest species of deer, um, Dichrocarus. And this animal was quite small. It probably didn't reach much more than 2 feet in height, and it did have distinct canines like today's musk deer, but musk deer aren't true deer. They're part of Mascidae. And there's another distinct species of deer today. It's possibly the tufted deer that has distinct canines, and it is a true deer. And this animal was just probably feeding on different species of leaves or maybe occasionally grasses in the region, but it did have very distinct antlers, unlike today's deer. In fact, they look more close to something like a pronghorn, though pronghorn are more close related to giraffes. And so we also have earlier species of Giraffinidae during this time. This is Honanotherium, which is possibly a bit larger over in terms just overall weight than modern day giraffes. So Honanotherium, despite it being somewhat shorter, this animal probably reached a height of somewhere around 14 to 15 feet. A large Maasai giraffe today can reach over 18 feet in height. They could have weighed probably somewhere around 2,500 pounds at least. And they had to be concerned about the saber tooths and possibly the hyenas in the area. That's because giraffes in general aren't too hard to take down. However, these giraffes were much more heavily built than today's. So let's see. So we also have one of the earliest bears in the region. This is Ursavis tedfortes. So there have been at least 5 or 6 different species of Ursavis that have been discovered. within the late Miocene, early Pliocene epoch formations. And this animal was probably not much bigger than a large gray wolf. So we're talking somewhere around 150 to 170 pounds or around 80 kilograms. And it's possible that they were quite omnivorous, like um, pretty much all bears of today, but they might have also been quite carnivorous. As you can see, they have quite distinct canines, not canines, molars. Canines are over here. But so, despite like how large the skull looks in the picture, it's actually not a very large bear. There's also much earlier species, and this is probably the skull of another species of Ursavelus. They lived throughout the different parts of the late Miocene into the Pliocene epoch as well. And yes, this animal also has much flatter molars, so he was probably much more herbivorous. Could have been munching on different species of grasses, probably going after different species of fruit. It's a bit of a question as to whether or not, though, these animals might have hibernated or would have simply just need to gain as much weight as today's bears. Some bears, it doesn't look like they did. Oh, so this is a member of the Elasmotheriinae lineage of Rhinoceridae. This is Cynotherium, which was the largest rhino at this time. Cynotherium could reach over possibly 7 tons is how large this animal was. This is one of those prehistoric mammals that if you stuck it back, actually, here I'll say this. Let me know in the comments if you think this animal would have been able to protect itself from larger theropod dinosaurs. But even when it comes to the largest predatory mammals that existed during the Cenozoic, um, this animal probably didn't have any major predators by the time it reached full size. Even a large pride of like the certain large American lions that existed, or even during this time with the saber tooths and the hyenas, they might have not been able to take it down. Or at least let me know in the comments if you think that they even stood a chance. This animal is probably feeding on different species of grasses in the region, very similar to today's rhinos over in, well, the black rhinos and white rhinos over in Africa. Technically, greater one horn rhinos in India to an extent in Nepal. The Sumatran Javan rhinos are mostly leaf eaters. But this animal, I guess you could say, is a closer relative to the living Sumatran rhino, unlike the white and black rhinos. Oh, and their horn could possibly reach somewhere around 5 to 6 feet in length, or close to 2 meters. So it was quite a formidable animal. However, this is Conabelodon, and this is a member of the Embelodontidae lineage of the basically the elephant lineage. And it's a bit distantly related to the more famous Platylodon from Africa, which would evolve later in the Pliocene epoch. It actually coexisted with certain members of Ototus megalodon. And this animal, on the other hand, could probably reach somewhere around what 8 to 9 tons is how large this distinct elephant was. And looking at the bottom tusks, so of certain um, fragments that we have, well, actually, this is a very well preserved bottom jaw of the animal. The tusks alone are around 5 feet in length. So these bottom tusks, it's a bit challenging to figure out what they might have been used for. Some theories are they were used to scoop up roots or maybe even aquatic plants. Some have even suggested females carrying their babies on their tusks for the first few days of life. It's probably less likely. Also, though, the upper tusks, they might have been used to help dig up roots. And despite, like, some might think they were actually quite delicate, it's very possible that they might have been used to joust into other males during the breeding season. Most of the elephant family had quite robust tusks, but especially those bottom jaws, um, that's a very big question. And yes, these animals, they did live in different marshes as well as inhabiting different swamps, occasionally going into a more open savanna like scrubland. But they also had very few predators, if any. Okay, so Amphimacaridus hesigensis was roughly 2 meters long, or roughly 6 feet in length. Really, that's it? Or roughly the size of a lion or a small tiger. That's a small lion. It would have been smaller than the archetypal saber-toothed cat Homotherium. Okay, that's he looks much bigger in the picture. Analysis of a nearly complete um, A has against its skull fossils features shows features typical of its genus, but also some peculiar morphology. It has a wide forehead, long snout, and small incisors. Some of the new species' cranial traits resemble those of Homotherium. Okay, so it probably is a member of Homotherium, suggesting potentially similar adaptations. Note the authors of a study describing A. higensis. Oh, the long snout, laterally oriented and posteriorly located orbit of Amphichiridae suggests a better ability to observe the surrounding environment rather than targeting single prey, pointing to an adaptation to the open environment or social behavior. Changes in hunting behaviors, environmental shifts were underway in the Turolian age appear to have been a major factor in the evolution of saber-toothed cats and their dispersal around the world. Around this time, um, there was a lot of evolution going on with different members of the cat family, the bear family, as well as like relatives of bears, and even um, who else? Oh, the elephant family as well, rhinos. The early arid environment in Lingxia Basin, probably due to the uplift of the Tibetan Plateau to a significant height at this time, provides an environmental trigger for the appearance of open environmental adaptations among mammals. Open environments also benefit social behavior due to the increasing visibility of carnivores to each other and also preys, which makes them more difficult to catch. Well, we already had the opening environments occurring like back in the Eocene epoch. Um, I'd say around 33 to 34 million years ago, but definitely once we head into the okay, that's early Oligocene in the early Oligocene epoch, so between like 30 to 34 million years ago, major shifts from like dense forests into open grassland were occurring, and you had a wide variety of animals that were evolving adaptations for those specific environments. So this is nothing new. Um, yes, there were a lot of climatic shifts occurring. There were environmental changes occurring as well. But this has already been going on for at least 20 million years. The paleontologists also note that rapid morphological and social changes in Amphichiridae hesigensis may have been spurred on by the presence of other large carnivores in the Lingxia basin during the Turolian. Among those were a huge hyena, Dinocrocuta gigantea, which weighed approximately 380 kilograms. Was I that off? That seems a bit oversized for gigantea. That's like in pounds. Close to 800 pounds. I don't believe even Gigantea, which is the largest species of Dinocrocutia, there have been a few other species that have been discovered. I don't believe it reached that size and could crack bone with its powerful jaws. Two as yet undescribed species of bear were also around at the time. Okay. Well, this is good to hear that we found another member of Homo theriani. It is interesting, though. It does look like it's smaller than certain species of Homotherium, but that's not very specific because it just mentioned the genus. So let me know in the comments what your favorite species of late Miocene epoch Chinese mammal is. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know because nothing is better than all animals all the time.